Hi, dear students. A warm good morning to all of you, and welcome to the first session of medical microbiology. As we all know, microorganisms are quite prominent and they are quite noted for their medical implications. And the reason why we are staying today indoors or we are locked inside or we are restricted from our motion is mainly because of the presence of one such incidence of medical microbiology where a virus called the COVID-19 has caused us to take precautions and stay at our homes. In this session, we're going to talk about infections. What are they? And what is the infection cycle? Firstly, let me talk about some terms. What is a host? What is a pathogen? And how it leads to an infection. A host is a larger organism, we define it, and it mainly supports the survival and the growth of a smaller organism. And coming to a pathogen, it is any organism which can cause a disease. Now, in this case, humans serve as a particular host of a what? Of various smaller organisms. Not only humans, if you go to consider various animals, they or various plants, they can serve as a host for various minute organisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and all that. So, host is a larger organism which survives the growth of a smaller organism. And when this small organism, or if it can cause a particular disease, it is referred to as a pathogen. And when a pathogen is growing and multiplying within or on a host, the host is said to have a particular infection. So, when a pathogen or a disease causing agent is growing on a host, we call it as a particular case of infection. Now, what is infection and what is a infectious disease? You need to know a difference between that. Now, when a pathogen is growing and multiplying within on or a host, the host is said to have an infection. That's what we told earlier. Now, we know that we being a host have lots of microbes within us. We have normal microflora on our skin, on our nose, on everywhere, every part of in our gut and all that. We do have certain microorganisms which survive within us. But we do not call every time the normal microflora as an infection because they are as a part of us. So the term infection is always sometimes associated, if it gets associated with a disease, that has been found the most common term that we use. The presence of a normal microflora is not referred to as an infection. But if the presence of a pathogenic organism causes any change from the state of health in which a host exists or a part of the host body is existing, like if any change to the whole host or part of the host occurs such that the host is not capable of carrying its normal function due to the presence of the pathogen or its products, then we call it as an infectious disease. So the term infection and infectious disease have been found to be closely related, but when a disease causing agent causes a particular infection in a such a disease also, and the normal function of the host has been hindered due to the either due to the presence of the pathogen or due to its products, then we call it as infectious diseases. So infection is the situation when a pathogen is growing and multiplying within or on a host, and then the host is thus said to have an infection. And an infectious disease is any change from the state of health in which a part or all of the host body is not capable of carrying out its normal functions due to the presence of a pathogen or a product. And after an infection occurs, it might lead to a particular disease or not. Infection, it means the entry or the the coming in of a pathogen within a particular host, and that may or may not lead to a particular disease. If it hinders the normal function of a body, then it leads to a particular disease or a illness. So if you go to look onto infection process, if you have a particular organism, okay, that organism might be coming from a particular source or from a reservoir or something, it will enter into an organism through some entry points, and once it enters into the into the host, what happens, it multiplies over there. And it tries to survive. So now it can either it is from a source or it can go to a new host also. So once it goes to the host, it will have to survive over there, or it has to multiply over there, and it should find a safe environment, or it should establish in that particular environment by the presence. And now in the case of bacteria, they mainly form biofilms to get established over there, and then once it established its environment within the host, it will acquire certain nutrients. So the main purpose by which for what it is entering into a host is mainly to establish and to get some nutrients, and once it acquires nutrients, it will establish a niche. Just like building a home, it will build a home within the host and it will multiply over there. Sometimes during this process, what happens, the host will act, the host defense will act, and it might cause the death of the organism. Or sometimes you can see that it can also the pathogen can also invade in the intracellular environment also. And if it has not been killed by the host defenses, it will exit out from the first host and it will go into the new host. So this is the process of a what? Infectious disease cycle. And you can see that from the point of entry till the point of exit, it has different strategies. That is, it has to overcome the stresses which is being given by the host. It has to establish a niche and acquire nutrients, and if it's establishing further, it can also exit out of the host also. So the basis of every infection is a competition for resources. The host represents an opportunity for the infecting agent to obtain protection, nutrients, and energy for use for its own survival. And the infectious agent must therefore develop mechanisms to access and exploit their host or to enter into the host. And to continue surviving, they should also devise methods to move on to a better environment once the immediate ones should decline. So at every point, you can see that the pathogen over here, which is causing a infection, it always tries to gain some resources, multiply, survive, and at the same point, at the same time, it also tries to disseminate. What does disseminate? Disseminate means spread from one host to the other. So these are all parts of the infectious cycle. And if you go to consider the cycle of infection, as I told you, the pathogen comes in and it colonizes, and once it colonizes, it can either transmit it or it might be in a transmission mode, and it might enter to a susceptible person also. But at the same time, within the host, we try to check the infection by various methods, either by individual treatment. You give treatment for the host so that he becomes cured, or sometimes you might give immunization or chemoprophylaxis so that the pathogen is being stopped over there. Then here also you can give immunization and prophylaxis, or sometimes you might adopt certain infection control. Hygienes also can be avoided. So if the pathogen enters from here, you will either give here, if you are immunized and chemoprophylaxed, the susceptible person will not get infected. And if this is not there, the person will get infected. Again, you can stop it by immunization or chemoprophylaxis. If it is not stopped, it will colonize and cause an infection. And here you can give individual treatment. If that does not exist, it will get transmitted to another person. Then you can also control it by your hygienic methods If that is also not there, it multiplies. So the cycle of infection continues with the process of pathogenesis as well as, and you can control it by various methods like immunization, chemoprophylaxis, and individual treatment, and sometimes also due to infection control and various methods. So I guess you got an idea of what is an infection. We will continue with the types of infections in the coming sessions. Thank you for now.